What's up, guys? Frantic here, and welcome to the new Sunday show. If you aren't familiar with this layout, where I'm in a different area talking about different stuff, head over to the last video I posted with the Sunday show title, and check out why I changed some things up. We're going to jump into everything right away with Pain of Salvation's In the Passing Light of Day. I mentioned this album last week because it had just came out and I didn't want to dig too deep into things I didn't know about it. I'd heard 2 songs off of that album before it was released, and those are the songs I talked about, Reasons and Meaningless. If you want to check those out, head back to last week. But anyways, I really like this album. I've only listened to it for about the past week, so I can't truly say how great it is, if it's timeless or not, because it hasn't had enough time to be timeless. That's one of my stances on reviews and other things. If you haven't read something like that from me, check out FranticTalks.com. I mention a lot of stuff like that. What did I think of this album? I thought this album was very good. Let's just be straightforward here. I like Pain of Salvation, so I would be probably called out as being biased, but either way, I didn't like their last album, Road Salt and Road Salt 2, I think is what they're actually called. Shows how much I know about it because I barely listened to it and I don't remember the names. But I like this album, so I'm going to talk about the first track, On a Tuesday, and tell you what I like about it, which is basically how it ties into everything in this album. This album talks a lot about in the passing light of day, hence the name. Normally when you get an album when you normally get an album, the title doesn't normally flow through everything. It's either a song title or maybe just an overall theme, but they don't really mention it. This is one of those rare instances where they kind of just tie that meaning into every single song. What does in the passing light of day mean? Well, it means sunrise to sunset. What happens during that time? At least that's how they start talking about it. So on a Tuesday is your classic, oh, that's that guy's Tuesday. You know, so if I tell you I went and did something crazy, like, oh, I don't know, I went bungee jumping, and like, oh man, how much fun was that? It's like, it's like a Tuesday for me. It's normal. That's what that means. So if that is the title of the track, is that what the song means? Absolutely. He talks a lot about how humans do bad things to each other on a daily basis. It's amazing what humans will do, is basically the biggest line in this song. And that's really what he's saying, is it's amazing how from sunrise to sunset, there's no hesitation to do these things. And he doesn't specify too much what it is. It kind of bounces back and forth between a lot of different things. And I think that what he's trying to say overall is that it's amazing on a day-to-day basis what we're willing to do to survive, especially in a society that's maybe as advanced as we are, and a society that's evolved beyond survival of the fittest. I think that's definitely what he's trying to say. So next up is the next track on the album, Tongue of God. And this song kind of paints the imagery of God licking the inside of someone's mouth, if I remember correctly. Kind of weird, but I don't think that's really what he's trying to say. I think what he's really trying to say is it's someone who feels God inside of them, which is one of the common beliefs of religion, usually Christianity. They feel God inside of them. So that I think that's what he's trying to say. But I think this almost goes back to a song that we mentioned last week, which was Tom Waits and his song Jesus Gonna Be Here. And that song talks about one specific line that I kind of harped on, is that he says, God expected me to do good. You know, I was good, except for drinking. But hey, he knew I'd do that. That's what he says. I think this song ties into that meaning, and not because they're connected in any way. I don't think they actually are. I just think that they were going for kind of a similar message here. People who are religious aren't necessarily pure. This person's acknowledging that, especially if they themselves are religious. And I don't know if this is the same character as the previous song, or if it's the same character throughout the album, but this person's saying, you know, I feel God inside of me, but, you know, he knows I do these bad things, so I'm very confused as to why he's here. So I think that's the real message, is it's, why would God do this? Why would he be inside of someone if he's supposed to be inside of a pure person? But the real thing is how innerly conflicted this person is with the opening lines and closing lines of crying in the shower, laughing in bed. Almost as to say, when I reflect emotionally, I'm torn. I'm either happy or I'm sad, and I don't know which one it is, because it's constant. So this is almost a mentally ill person, you could say, or potentially just someone who's suffering from a rough form of depression or even bipolar. I doubt it's bipolar, but that's something to also take in when thinking about this song. Skipping forward a few tracks, we're going to head into Full Throttle Tribe. I like this song a lot because of the message it sends, but it's a really weird message. So normally when you analyze a song, you can look at what's written in the lyrics. Usually that's a good way to figure it out, I'd argue. But there's also the option to see what's deeper than what's on the surface. And this song can be two different things. It's either what's on the surface or what's really deep. And I think it's what's really deep. So let's say what's on the surface. It is basically a social outcast, someone who's never fit into Group A, Group B, or Group C, or whoever, who finds others like him and says, follow me. You know, we will do great things together. To me, this screams cult. I don't know why, but that's what came to mind. And then when I started digging deeper, I realized quickly I might have been on the right track, but I think, again, we're talking about religion, because it talks about a group worshiping one person who started it all. And if I've heard different people say different things about Christianity, I don't know what you have heard. One of the things I have heard is how Jesus would just shout from the rooftops, essentially, that he was this person of special abilities or something like that. A song by Tool, Eulogy, talks a lot about this, and that's where I get most of my thoughts about it, where it was like, man, he just would not stop yelling about how great he was. Maybe that's why they wrote about him. It's just a theory, clearly. But I've heard that theory more than just in that song, to be fair. So this song kind of hints at things like that, where this person just is like, we'll do great things together. Follow me blindly. You never fit in, I never fit in. And that's the entire song. I don't know why I like this song so much as I think it's a message that we should all be aware of. Don't blindly follow someone just because you can relate to them. That doesn't mean they're doing something right. So that's how I feel about it. And lastly, we're going to talk about the title track, the last track, the 15-minute track, In the Light of Passing Day. Again, think about sunrise to sunset, things you observe on a daily basis. I think that's what a lot of this album is truly about. And this last track is a very emotional track. It has a character who seems to be talking to their lover and how they are just watching them die, just like the passing light of day. As in, a day goes by, you're going away each day. That's kind of what they're trying to say. It reflects a lot upon the things that they've done in their life. It mentions how they were together younger when they were more concerned about politics, or different times in their life that they're very happy about. And it's emotional in a strong way, because I picture it as this person talking to this dying partner of theirs, holding their hand while they just lay there dying on their deathbed. It's a sad image, and that's the image they're trying to paint. And with the melodic, the strong emotional pieces that are stuck in my head from listening to this, it's just such a good song, such a great way to wrap up this album. And I almost think it's like their last album with how strongly they end it. And ends on such a epic note. It's like, wow, is this the end? It's not. I don't think they're going away. It's just a very powerful album. So overall, I would absolutely recommend this album. It is a great progressive metal album. I don't know how great it is. I will have to reflect upon it over the next coming months. But beyond that, I think it's a very good album. You should definitely give it a listen if you like the stuff I talked about so far. Get your own interpretations of it and let me know down in the comments. That about does it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the new Sunday show. This is the second time I've done this. Still kind of fiddling around with it. I'm trying to be more streamlined, not ramble like I did in the last video. Either way, let me know what you guys think about the songs I recommended today. What did you think about last week's songs? Did you like them? Did you love them? Did you hate them? I'm always interested. And what are you listening to this week? I would love to know so I could dig deep into it. One of my things I love doing so much is digging into songs and finding more than what's on the surface. And that's why I like the music I like. There tends to be a lot of that. So anyways, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next Sunday.